I will explain the basics of how to knit, how to cast on, and how to do stocking stitch like this, which will eventually lead to lots of other types of things you can knit, whether it's a rib like this stocking pattern that I've made, whether it's Aran, this has got moss stitch and rib, or a sock in the round. The world is your oyster. So I'll leave you my email address. If you perhaps want to try any of these sock patterns or leg warmer patterns, let me know. So anyway, let's get on with the how to knit video. Good luck. Get the end of your yarn. I'm going to go slowly and just make a loop like so. Bring that under and pull, and you'll see you've formed a loop. Quick, get that on your needle and pull it tight-ish. Get your second needle and insert that behind the stitch, first stitch like so. Get your yarn, bring it in between the two needles, bring the second needle down in order to catch the loop, pulling it through and hooking it onto the first needle. So now that's 2 stitches, and you pull it, not deadly tight, otherwise you won't be able to insert the second needle in, but just, you'll get the hang of it, just sort of a nice tension, so not too tight, not too loose. Right, so I'm going to do that again. Bring the yarn in between the first and the second needle, bring the second needle down to catch the loop underneath and hook that onto your first needle, and again. So that's 4, and carry on until you've got 19 stitches. Right, you've got your 19 stitches now, like so. You're going to now do your first row. So again, you're inserting the second needle just as before. You're bringing the yarn in between and pulling the stitch through, but this time you're taking it off the first needle, like so. Again, making sure the tension is nice, not too tight, not too loose. And again. So this is a knit row. Same principle as casting on, but you're taking the stitch off and then all your stitches are transferring onto the second needle. So if you're a beginner, I would write down each row, because it's very easy to forget whether you're on a right side row or a wrong side row. This row we're doing now, row 1, will be a right side row, and it will be a knit row, as I said before. So I hope you can see well. Right, so we're nearly at the end. Right, last stitch. Right, that's your first row. Now turn the work around so that the wrong side is now facing. Now we're going to do what's called a purl row. So this is row 2. So this time insert the second needle into the front of the work. I'll do that again, like so. So you're not going behind, you're going in front this time. And bring the wool again in between the needles, but towards the front. But you still want to catch that stitch and slip it off the first needle. Right, do that again. I'm going slow so you can hopefully see what I'm doing. So this is a purl row. It's important to know what row you're on, otherwise you won't. What we're trying to aim for here is called a stocking stitch. So there is a right side and a wrong side to it. So that is row 2. So that is basically it. You're now going to turn that back over to the right side, and you're going to do another knit row. So that will be row 3. Row 4 will then be a purl row, just as the 2 rows you've already done. And you're just starting to get the beginnings of the fabric. Turn work around so the wrong side is facing you, and do a purl row. So make how quickly you get used to it. Right, so you can see I've got 4 rows there now, and I'm going to carry on until I've reached 25 rows, and then I'm going to measure it and check that my tension is okay. Right, I've done my 25 rows that's required for my tension square. I've ended up on a wrong side row now, ready to cast off. So here we go. So I'm casting off purlwise, so I've put my needle towards the front. Again, same principle as before, but this time on your second stitch you are going to take the first stitch and pass it over the second, like so. You're going to repeat that, then pass the second stitch over the third, and so on. Just repeat that. So that's how you cast off. You can also cast off knitwise if you prefer, it doesn't matter which way. And I've got my cup of tea on the ready for when I've finished, because it's important to reward yourself, I think, after achieving your first tension square of the day. Right, nearly halfway through. So keep going. Oops. I rather like this yarn. I think it's looking nice. I like the slubby bits in it. So when it comes to your final stitch, just pull it through. Scissors on the ready. Snip your yarn, like so, and just thread it through and gently pull. Here we go. 10 centimetre tension square finished.